Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sigma GT Challenge tonight. We've got race 5 going on. Driver's going to tackle 1 hour around the beautiful Watkins Glen road course tonight. First up on the docket, we've got the AM lobby. Looks like we've got 8 drivers joining us for the activities tonight. Let's go ahead and head down the line, introduce everybody out in front. Getting ahead with the qualifiers starting is going to be G. Orfano out there, representing a spicy Beetle in the 911. Right behind him, we've got Flying Fox Racing's Ridge Raider in the McLaren 650. Right behind, picking up pit lane penalty right out of the gate. Not a good look. It's going to be Rick James in the Haltech Mercedes, and right on his bumper, trying to find a little bit of space. We got Flying Fox Racing's Tom the Tech showing up here in the FFR Mustang. A little bit of a look around the outside. He's going to go ahead and get around Rick James. There's Rick serves his penalty. Well done, Rick, getting off to the side there. Top on down the list a little more. We've got Skirb, also known as Brooks, representing Independent 911 tonight. Next up, first member of Victory Pace Racing's Cornstick in his Corn livery GTR. I love that car. I absolutely love that thing. Well done to him on that livery. Right behind him, we got Jesse Salas, also running in a 911 and coming out behind in a little bit of clean air. Probably a wise move. We've got Laundry bringing up the rear in the GTR. So let's go ahead and hop on board with Orfano here as he gets ready to start his first flying lap. Let's see what kind of lap times these AM drivers are going to be laying down. What I can see, everyone is laying down anywhere from a 43 to a 46, depending on what lobby that you're sitting in. Orfano getting himself a great exit right there out of T1 as he heads up the S's onto the back straight now. Trying to wring every bit of power he can out of that 911. See how late he's going to get onto the brakes as he gets ready to come through the bus stop here. Quick down to third, bites every bit of apex that he can. Running out a little wide on the corner, hopefully trying to clip that apex coming around on the way in. And he does just barely. Gets himself a good launch out of there as he gets ready to come up to the first part of the boot here. Forgive me, I'm still learning the 4 corner names of the track here. Orfano hard on the brakes as he comes through up to the right-hander now. He's ready to come over the penalty line. Let's check in with the rest of the field here as he finishes his lap. Ridge Raider not far behind in the McLaren, and Tom the Tech finding his way through the field now. Also putting himself down a hell of a hot lap right now as well. Brooks finding a little bit of pace in the 911 as well. So it looks like all drivers having a little bit of practice, and it looks like it's paying off for everybody here. Let's hop on board with Orfano coming out of the last part of the boot now. Doesn't brake there, he just lets off of the gas a little bit. He's going to be able to carry a lot of speed as he comes through the last corner now onto the front straightaway. Let's see what kind of time he's going to set. First one to set a time here tonight. Orfano, a 1:46.5. Let's follow down the rest of the field here. 1:47.0. We've got Tom the Tech with a 1:46.5 as well. Not able to take that top spot from Orfano. We've got Skirb coming in a P3 running a 1:46.7. Jesse with that 1:46.8 in 4th. Ridge Raider getting knocked down into 5th in his McLaren there, still at that 47 flat. We got Rick James running a 47.1, not far behind off of Ridge Raider's time. Cornstick also running a 47.1, picking up a 1-second penalty though as he comes out of the S's onto the back straight. Now he's going to have to serve that penalty and give his next hot lap a go. Just go ahead and write this one off. Checking with Laundry, running a 1:48.1. Not quite up to pace with the rest of them. We still have quite a bit of time here in this qualifier, well over 5 minutes left. Checking in with Orfano now. Currently sitting on provisional pole with a 1:46.5. Running a little squirrely there as he comes in through the first part of the boot. Manages to hold on to the spicy Beetle, even going purple yet. Not quite as purple as probably wanted to be though. Heavy on the brakes as he comes through the right-hander now, getting ready to take the penultimate corner. Orfano bettering his time, it looks like. Still running purple. Let's see if he's going to hold on to it through the last corner here. does. A 146 flat. Refrigerator, though, coming in with the first 145 of the evening, a 145.6. Tom running a 145.9. It's going to knock Orfano down into P3. Brooks getting knocked down to P5 with a 146.8. Not able to go faster than his first hot lap. And we've got Rick James in the back running a little bit wide coming through the first corner there. He's going to pick up a half-second penalty as a result of it. So you get a little bit of crackle in the audio. Let's turn the level down a little bit there and see what happens with it. That should probably sound a little bit better there. Elgato running a little loud as well. Sorry, everybody. He's on board with Rick James here. He's going to serve his half-second penalty here shortly. Let's check in with the back half of the field. Cornstick, that 147.1, still his best lap time, good enough for 7th place right now. Laundry also picking up half-second penalty, is bettering his time a little bit with a 48 flat now. But having to serve this half-second penalty, he's going to have to give up this one and go ahead and give it up to the next one. We got the audio issue resolved. Well, then we'll keep the voice where it was. Bring the Elgato back up. And then, sorry everybody, we're gonna have to briefly go black and then bring it back. And let's see if that fixed our audio issues that we're having. You guys can let me know down in the chat if that did do any better or not here. That's what I want to hear, Lisa. That fixed it. We are a tech wizard here. Checking in with the top of the field. Flying Fox's Ridge Raider. 145.6, still the fast lap time for now. Tom Patek coming in not far behind with a 145.9. We've got Orfano, that 146 flat, still his best lap time so far. Good enough for P3 right now. He comes flying through the bus stop with a skirb not far behind. A little squirrely. See the traction control picking up there on his 911. Manages to hold on to that car and shags it down the right-hander there. You got Jesse sitting in P5, the 146.2. He's got Jesse right on his bumper right there. Jesse backing off a little bit, realizing he's still got a little bit of time left in this qualifier. He can go ahead and give it another go on the next lap there. Rick James getting knocked down into P6 with that 146.8. We've got Cornstick with 147.1 right now. Another half-second penalty that our man's going to have to serve. It's unfortunate for him. We got Laundry 148 flat, still his fastest lap time now. All drivers pushing as hard as they can. We got less than 2 minutes to go here in qualifying. Hop back on board with the Ridge Raider here as he comes out of the penultimate corner, around the final corner now, up onto the front straightaway. See if he's going to better his time here at all. Not able to better his time, that 145.6, still good enough for provisional pole. Let's see what Orfano's going to do here. That 145.7, inching just a little bit closer to Ridge Raider, but not enough to take provisional pullback. It was good enough to take a P2, though, away from Tom the Tech. Still that 145.9, his fastest lap time. That last lap with the 146.1, close, but not close enough to be able to improve as he chases down Brooks right now. Brooks, that 146.1, still good enough for P4 right now, just inching ahead of Jesse. Barely 2/10 off, but Brooks going purple now as he gets ready to come into the bus stop. Keeps it clean and tidy through there. We're going to stay on board with Brooks as he went purple through there and see what he does through the next sector here. Brooks hard on the brakes as he comes through the chute. It's going to be flat out all the way up to the toe with a little bit of trail baking into it. Right-hander here. Still have Tom the Tech trying to take advantage of a little bit of slipstream. He's going to go ahead and go out wide through this corner here. Brooks keeping it tidy towards the inside. Brooks losing that purple, but still going blue, able to better his time a little bit. It's not going to be good enough to knock Tom off of P3 right now. Like I said, we're going to stay on board with Brooks here. Brooks coming through the heel now. tight. Another sector here. He does lose a little bit of time, though. Not able to improve unless he absolutely pushes like a madman through the last 2 corners here and gets an incredible exit out of the final corner here. Not sure if he's going to be able to capitalize on that. So more than likely a P4 for Brooks, and Tom the Tech right behind, sitting in a P3. And Ridge Raider in P2. We got Orfano taking provisional pullback with a 145.2, an outstanding lap from him. We got Jesse Salas down in a P5 at 146.2. Rick James not far behind, 146.5. He's going to be in P6. Victory Pace Racing's Cornstick in P7 with a 147.1. And we've got Laundry with a 148 flat. Go ahead, chat. Place your bets down below. Who's got this race tonight? We're going to go ahead and take ourselves a quick break. Let these drivers get everything situated. And we're going to light this candle, everybody, so you stay tuned. Yes, here we go. 5 lights on, lights are out, the hammers drop, drivers will be away. We do have false starts here. Let's make sure nobody gets caught off guard. Lights still haven't come on. Here we go. So we got drivers are off. Looks like Ridge Raider gets a much better start. Tom the Tech, a little bit of a slide there coming off the start. Didn't have traction control on. He drops back to the back of the pack right out of the gate. We got Ridge Raider jumping ahead, taking out P1. We got Orfano dropping down into P2. Rick James making his way up into P3. We've got Brooks down in P4 for right now. Laundry making his way up into P5. Tom the Tech already gaining 2 positions through T1 right there. Making his way down into P6. We got Jesse Salas down in P7 and Cornstick dropping down into P8, jumping back up front. We got Ridge Raider absolutely pulling away from the rest of the pack right now in that Flying Fox McLaren. We got Orfano trying to defend with all of his life right now with the rest of the pack behind him down in P2. Brooks running a little bit wide, cutting off the rest of the drivers back there. We got Rick James still sitting in at P3, Brooks in P4. Side by side, we've got Laundry and Tom the Tech here as they come down into the chute here. Tom still sitting in P6, Laundry defending with P5 for right now. We got Jesse Salas trying to have a little bit of sneak, and Laundry off with a little bit of a spin. Laundry into the wall. It's going to give everybody an opportunity to get around him. Laundry dropping that down into the back of the pack. We still got Ridge Raider sitting far out in front of the rest of the field right now. Orfano finding a little bit of space between himself and Rick James. Rick James under a little bit of pressure right now from Brooks. Brooks in the 911 down in P4, getting himself a little bit of breathing room between himself and Tom the Tech. And Tom under pressure right now from Jesse. Jesse having a little bit of peek on the inside in the 911 there, thinks better of it, decides to slot back in, sitting in P6, and Cornstick getting ahead of Laundry there. Laundry into the wall, trying to find some space back there in the back of the field in P8. Incredible action through the first lap here at Watkins Glen. We're barely 2 minutes into this, not even. And what was that, 15 position changes? I can barely breathe. So 1 lap down, we've got Ridge Raider sitting out in front in P1. He's got a 1 second gap between himself and Orfano. Orfano finally finding some breathing room now between himself and Rick James. And right there we got Jesse having a look down. He's gonna shag it down the inside in front of Tom the Tech. And Jesse taking P5. That keeps Tom the Tech down in a P6 right now. And Tom all over the bumper, though. He's going to get all the slipstream as they come up through the back straight here. And Cornstick also wants a piece of the action right now. Cornstick also on the bumper of both of these drivers right now. It's an incredible battle for P5 happening. So Jesse defending with everything he's got as all 3 of them get ready to come up to the bus stop. Now Jesse taking the inside line. Tom wants to have the inside as well. He thinks better of it and decides to slot back in behind Jesse. He's going to lose some time there. And now Cornstick's going to be on the attack, trying to take P6 away from Tom the Tech. And Jesse getting a little breathing room now. He can go ahead and try to focus ahead on the other 911 that Brooks is driving. And Brooks now also having a look along to Rick James. So Rick James, though, managing to get a little bit of a better exit there out of the chute. He's going to go ahead and hold on to P3 for right now. So Brooks sitting in a P4. We got Jesse right on his bumper there, and the other 911 down in a P5. And Tom, another issue there into the wall, going too wide there through the toe. So Tom picking up some front end damage on the car. Laundry going to take advantage of that if he can in the GTR there. Gaining quite a bit of time there. So let's hop on board with Laundry and see if he's going to go ahead and try to make a move along with Tom the Tech here. And Tom getting a little squirrely again in the Mustang. Tom dropping down into a P8. He's going to go ahead and have to reset, take a little bit of a breather here on the front straightaway. Go ahead and reset that Mustang. Checking in with the field, Ridge Raider starting to come under pressure from Orfano now. Less than a half second separating both these drivers as they come up through the S's onto the back straightaway. Orfano going to get into the slipstream there as they come up through the S's. So Ridge Raider's going to run wide. He's going to take that outside line. It's going to give Orfano an opportunity to try to make a move along the inside here as both drivers come up into the bus stop. Orfano backing off, letting Ridge Raider go ahead and take the line there. He's going to go ahead and put the pressure back on him as they come out of the bus stop through the right-hander. Orfano running just a little bit wide there, looks like. Let's stay here for just a second, see if he's going to pick up a penalty from that one. It looks like he was able to keep it on the curbing there. He's not going to feel the wrath of Kaz on that one as both drivers come out of the chute into the toe now. So Ridge Raider still sitting out in front, getting a little bit of breathing room. Orfano getting a little bit better line there. Coming out of the toe, dropping a little bit of time. He's going to get back into slipstream range, but still sitting in a P2 for right now. Check in with the rest of the field real quick. Rick James with a lot of breathing room between him and Jesse. Jesse also with some nice breathing room between himself and Cornstick. We got Brooks, though, dropping down into P6. Cornstick moving up into P5. Brooks, though, not giving up without a fight, staying all over the bumper there of Cornstick. Less than a half second separating both of those drivers here. Let's see what happens. Both drivers come through both of the final corners now. So Brooks getting all in the slipstream if he can. I don't think he's going to have enough time to make a move here coming up into the first corner. Drivers out of the 90 and through the S's. No change in positions. Go ahead and check in with the rest of the field here. P7, we've got Laundry. 1 second gap between himself and Tom the Tech. Tom having some issues here throughout the first part of the race. Dropping back into P8, not able to get a wrangle on that Mustang. Looks like he's found a little bit more pace there now as he's dropping a little bit of time between himself and Laundry. We're only 6 minutes down in this race. We still have 54 minutes of racing to go, everybody. Let's go ahead and check in with the field. We've got Ridge Raider picking up a half-second penalty along the line somewhere. Orfano right behind him. That's going to give him an opportunity to go ahead and take a P1 as Ridge Raider is going to have to serve that half-second penalty right after they come out of the toe here. Penalty line being right at the exit of this corner. Ridge Raider moving off. It's going to give Orfano an opportunity to move up alongside. More than enough time for him to be able to get over. Ridge Raider coming across to defend that outside line to hold on to at least a P2 for right now, but Rick James chomping at the bit right behind in the Haltech Mercedes. Has a little bit of a look along the inside. Ridge Raider goes just a little bit wide there through the corner. Manages to hold on, though, and is holding on to P2 very well, though. Rick James right on the bumper still. Drivers coming through the final series of corners here. Ridge Raider getting a little bit better exit than Rick James did out of the final corner there and onto the front straightaway. So Ridge Raider getting himself a little bit of breathing room. Looks like all drivers starting to just slot in and find a race pace here. Yeah, Rick James sitting in P3. Little squirrely on the curbing there. Jesse eating all the curbing there coming out of the 90. He's sitting down in P4 right now. Less than a second separating him and Rick James, though. We got Cornstick down in P5. Brooks dropping behind just a little bit down in P6. Still only a second gap separating them. Laundry sitting in at P7. We got Tom the Tech right behind him now. That 1 second gap turning into a 1/10 of a second gap within one lap. And now Tom has a peek along the inside there. Laundry trying to squeeze him off just a little bit. It's not able to. And Tom going hard into the bus stop there and eating all the grass. He's going to pick up a penalty. Laundry has a look along the outside, manages to make it stick, takes an easy P7 back, and with Tom the Tech picking up another penalty, he's going to have to serve that one. But Tom does have a look along the inside here along Laundry. He's not able to hold on to the car. Those dirty tires from picking up the dirt along the bus stop there is not able to give him the grip that he wants there. Tom coming across the penalty line, serving that half second. And all that hard work that he did on the last lap was for naught, as now we are over 1 second separating him and Laundry. Almost 9 minutes down in this race. We got 51 minutes left to go, everybody, and everyone's going to have to pit. Everyone's going to have to get tires and fuel. This is absolutely anybody's race right now. So we still got Orfano sitting out in front. He took P1 away, if you weren't watching, from Ridge Raider having to serve that half-second penalty. Orfano's going to go ahead and take the fast lap. For now, with 146.2, we got Ridge Raider still sitting down in P2 in the Flying Fox McLaren. He's got himself a nice, healthy gap between him and Rick James. We got Rick James starting to feel the pressure from Jesse now. Jesse in P4 in the 911, starting to creep up on Rick James's Haltech Mercedes. Moose, thank you for joining. How are you tonight? Place your bet down below on whose race this is tonight. But so far, it looks like it could be anybody's, right, Chad? And now we got Rick James going purple as he comes out of the straight into the bus stop, holding on to P3. Jesse not far behind P4 in the 911. Dropping back down, just now coming into the bus stop, we've got Cornstick sitting in P5. Cornstick running on those soft tires. He's going to go ahead and get a little bit more breathing room between himself and Brooks. Brooks picking up a 1 second penalty coming out of the bus stop. Brooks will serve that penalty as he comes out of the tow here. We got Tom the Tech finding his way around Laundry somewhere. Although you can't see it at home, Laundry's front left tire completely gone. And that will definitely tell the story of how Tom was able to get around Tom running on the medium tire. Plenty of tread life left in those bad boys. You got Brooks running on the soft tires here, doing very well with his tire management. Brooks in P6, we've got a Cornstick in a P5, Jesse in P4, still putting the pressure on Rick James, not able to capitalize. Rick James almost tapping the wall there, coming out of the final corner onto the front straightaway. Ridge Raider in a P2, we got Orfano starting to find himself a little bit of breathing room between himself and Ridge Raider out in P1 for now. So the love for the channel is legendary. Ridge Raider down in P2, healthy gap between himself and Rick James. Rick James in P3 in the Haltech Mercedes. We've got Jesse in P4. The driver sliding in for race pace for now. We got Cornstick making his way up the field into P5. Brooks dropping back in the field down into P6. We've got Tom the Tech making his way up to P7. Laundry's going to be the first one to bite the bullet and dive into the pits here. Picking up a 3 second pit line penalty. You're going to have to be careful in the entry to this pit lane. Brakes are your friend as you enter this one. We got Orfano out in P1, 2 second gap. Very healthy between himself and Ridge Raider. Ridge Raider coming out of the tow there. Sitting down in P2, but going purple now. Almost 0.3 of a second. Going to be the first one to dip down into the 45s possibly. Let's stay on board with Ridge Raider here. As Ridge Raider comes out of the heel and into the final series of corners. We are going to have another sector line, so let's see if Ridge Raider is going to hold on to that fast lap. Not able to, but 0.6 faster is going to be able to dip into the 46s here. Tight on the apex with the final corner, rides it all the way up to the wall. This will be a personal best, no doubt. Not good enough for a fast lap, but a 1:46.5 is going to be good enough for him for now. Rick James sitting down in P3, gaining a little bit more distance between himself and Jesse. Jesse in P4 in the 911 there. Still with 4 second gap between himself and Cornstick. Cornstick losing a little bit of that gap between himself and Brooks. Brooks starting to find a little bit of pace again in the 911 there. Brooks sitting down in P6. You can see Tom the Tech in the background there coming up through the S's onto the back straightaway. He's going to be down in 7th place, having some issues earlier in the race, but able to correct them and starting to find pace in the Flying Fox Mustang there. We got Laundry, first one into the pits, coming out a fresh set of tires. So Laundry should be able to make up some time here once everyone else starts diving into the pits in the later laps. But Orfano starting to eat through those front soft tires here. with a 2-second gap out in front, nearly a 3-second gap out in front in P1 for now. Ridgerator sitting behind in P2, Rick James P3, P3, just for you, Brooks. And we got Jesse down in a P4 for right now. 14 minutes gone in the Sigma GT Challenge. I want to thank Six Sigma Sim Racing for sponsoring this series. Guys, I posted the link in the chat. Hey, you know what? I'm going to do it again. You know I'm going to do it again. I'm also going to completely ruin that. Go over to Six Sigma Sim Racing. Check out what they got. Unbeatable prices and just about any... well, really just about any peripheral you could need for them. Jesse's going to go ahead and dive into the pits here. His Racing Soft Tires starting to give up the ghost. And we've got Cornstick also heading into the pits as well. Same story for him with tires. Brooks is going to go ahead and make his way up into P4 for right now. Brooks' tire management doing quite well. Only half gone on those front left tires. Tom the Tech making his way up to P5, running on the medium tires. He's going to be able to stay out for a little bit longer than the others that started on the softs. The big story is going to be Laundry here. Let's see what's going to happen with him. It looks like we've got one driver coming out of the pits already. Both drivers coming out of the pits already. So not enough of a split for him to be able to get the undercut. But he is going to drop quite a bit of that delta between himself and Cornstick. And as we said, only 15 minutes gone in this race. Still 3/4 of a race to go, and anything can happen. But we check in with the rest of the field. We've got Orfano sitting out in front right now. 4 seconds separating him and Ridgerator. Ridgerator starting to lose a little bit of grip in that McLaren. The tire's starting to let go. So we've got Rick James finding some time between himself and Brooks. Brooks sitting in P4. Brooks opting to not go into the pits just yet. Racing Soft Tires starting to let up just a little bit there. But did find a little bit better exit out of toe there ahead of Tom the Tech. Tom sitting in a P5 for right now. No worries behind him as Jesse dove into the pits. Jesse in P6. We got Cornstick in P7. Cornstick with a 3-second penalty crossing the pit line there. I'm telling you guys, brakes are your friend at the GLEN when it comes to the pits. Cornstick's going to go ahead and serve that 3-second penalty. No danger behind. We've got Laundry sitting at 15 seconds, though, having that 30-second delta that he had between himself and the rest of the field. So now we got Rick James going to go ahead. He's going to pick up some new tires. Brooks is going to go ahead and do the same thing, pick up some new tires here. Looks like Rick James and Brooks are both going to pick up fuel here as well. That's going to give Tom opportunity to move up into P3. Jesse's going to make his way up into P4. Brooks just now coming out of the pits. Rick James also just coming out of the pits now. It looks like Cornstick's going to get himself an undercut and make his way up into P6. So let's stay on board with Laundry here. Let's see what his split's going to be between him and Brooks now. So 15 seconds last we checked in. Now with a new set of drivers pitting, now we're down to a 6-second split. So earlier pit onto the harder compound tires seems to be paying off for Laundry, at least so far in strategy it might. So we got Orfano here still on the same set of worn soft tires out in P1. We got Ridgerator up in a P2. We got Tom the Tech in a P3. All three drivers still needing to pit yet. Jesse already pitted down in a P4. We got Cornstick in P5. Rick James in P6. We got Brooks in P7. Laundry in P8 for right now. Orfano going to stay out again on the worn soft tires. Still finding himself some gaps between him and Ridgerator. Now Ridgerator's going to go ahead and give it up, go into the pits. Ridgerator having enough of the worn tires there. He's going to go ahead and get himself a grippier set. Pick up a little bit of fuel. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Tom the Tech. Tom should be able to get himself an undercut here. Should move into P2 fairly easily, and he does. Ridgerator still in the pits getting fuel. So here comes Jesse. Jesse out of the final corner onto the front straightaway here. Jesse's going to make his way up into P3. Ridgerator through the pit lane, observing a pit speed. On board with Cornstick here. Cornstick coming up to the 90. Looks like Ridge Raider's going to hold on to P4 for right now. Cornstick not far behind, coming out of the 90 and up to the S's. Cornstick carrying a little bit more speed out of the corner than Ridge Raider did coming out of the pits, so he is dropping that delta 2 seconds, dropping down to nearly 1.5 seconds. Both drivers coming into the bus stop here. Cornstick still dropping that delta as much as he can between himself and Ridge Raider. 3 seconds though separating him and Rick James. Rick sitting down in a P Steve for right now. We've got Brooks down in P7. He's got 20 seconds separating himself and Laundry. Laundry picking up a 0.5 second penalty and a 20-second delta. Hard work in the early pit not working out for him now. Laundry's going to be a PA, and we've got Orfano finally going into the pits. Let's see what Tom the Tech's going to do here. Tom coming through the final complex of corners now up onto the front straightaway. This should be an easy undercut for him to hop up into P1. He is going to stay out running on the medium tire. Should have a couple more laps left in him before he has to dive into the pits. Position change, one of the first ones we've had in a while. Tom Tech moving out in front. We got Jesse making his way up into P2. Ridge Raider coming out of that complex onto the front straightaway. He's in P4. Is he going to be able to make his way up into P3? Looks like Orfano just now coming out of the pit lane, and Ridge Raider braking as he gets ready to come into the 90. Ridge Raider starting to come under pressure from Cornstick now. Cornstick less than 1/2 a second behind. He's going to be within slipstream range as they come out of the S's onto the back straightaway. Let's hop on board with Cornstick here. Let's see how brave and how close he's going to get to Ridge Raider there as they come up to the infield. Brakes, Cornstick going wide. He's going to try to go for a late apex and get on the loud pedal sooner than Ridge Raider, but that's pushing him a little bit wide. He's going to have to back out of it there. Westy wants to feel the wrath of Kaz. Doesn't look like he's going to pick up a 1/2 second penalty. Oh, I spoke too soon. Cornstick picking up a 1/2 second penalty, unfortunately. Running just a little bit wide there. Coming out of the corner and into the chute. So Cornstick coming out of the toe, he's going to go ahead and serve that 1/2 second penalty. It's going to give Rick James an opportunity to close that gap a little bit. 3.5 seconds separating them though. Not going to give him an opportunity for an overtake here. Is going to bring him just a little bit closer though. We got Brooks still sitting down in P7, Laundry down in P8. 20-second gap dropping down to a 10-second. Brooks losing some time here. He's got a 15-second gap separating him and Rick James. Back half of the field finding a little bit of breathing room for themselves, and we got Tom finally diving into the pits to get rid of those worn medium tires. That's going to give Jesse opportunity to take P1 back. Orfano's going to move up into P2. We've got Ridge Raider moving up into P3. Cornstick moving up into P4. Rick James moving up into P5. Five drivers getting the undercut on Tom there. Tom coming out on a fresh set of soft tires. Picked himself up a bit of fuel as well. Brooks not able to capitalize on the undercut that almost the rest of the field got, but that is going to drop that gap down quite a bit between him and Tom the Tech. That 14 seconds dropping down to 8 seconds, 7 seconds already. Brooks in P7, Laundry in P8. 12 seconds separating him and Brooks for right now. Laundry running a little bit wide there, coming out of the 90 up into the S's. No penalty for him though. Jesse making his way up into P1. We got Orfano dropping down into P2. Ridge Raider picking up that undercut. He's going to be in a P3. We got Cornstick making his way up into P4. Rick James sitting in a P5. We've got Tom the Tech down in a P6. Brooks in P7. And we got Laundry rounding out our field in a P8 for now. Jesse with a healthy gap right now between himself and Orfano. Almost 5 seconds separating those two drivers. Jesse sitting out in a P1. Orfano down in P2. He's got himself quite a bit of breathing room between himself and Ridge Raider. 6 seconds separating those two drivers. Ridge Raider down in P3. Cornstick 2 seconds off, not far behind. Cornstick crossing the line in 4th as they start their 14th lap. We got Rick James not far behind, less than a second now between him and Cornstick. Rick James starting to find some pace there in the Haltech Mercedes. It's really starting to ring it out there. Starting to see some 47-second lap times come out. Not quite the same exit that Cornstick was able to get. Does lose some time there as they come out of the S's onto the back straightaway. But Rick James with quite a bit of breathing room between himself and Tom the Tech for right now. He's going to go ahead and stay in P5. Tom in P6, Brooks in P7, and Laundry in P8. Jesse here losing a little bit of time between himself and Orfano. That almost 5-second gap dropping down to 3.5 seconds. Orfano, much more tread on his tire compound right now, finding a little bit more speed into and out of the corners than Jesse is. Now 2.5 seconds only separating the drivers. Orfano pushing the 911 as hard as he can. Ridge Raider sitting back behind, still 6 seconds separating these two drivers, but Ridge Raider sitting in P3 on podium for right now. 25 minutes down in the race. We still have a little bit less than 35 minutes to go here. Cornstick dropping back just a little bit off of Ridge Raider here, over 3 seconds now. And Rick James was still over a second separating him and Cornstick. Let's go ahead, let's sit out in front as Jesse is starting to feel the pressure from those worn soft tires that he's got. Orfano now down to a second, less than a second separating here. Orfano going wide into the barrier. No. Holds it. Kaz, what was that? Please chat, tell me you saw that. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. Orfano in the slip. Jesse defending. He's allowed one defending move there. He's going to go try to take the inside line. He holds on to it. Jesse's still sitting out in P1 for right now. Orfano sliding down into P2, getting a little squirrely there coming out of the infield. I'm glad to see that I wasn't the only one that saw that nonsense. And there's a little bit more of it. Orfano picking up a little bit of lag. Not sure if he's going wide through the corners there. Are we good? No, we're not good, Kaz. We're not good at all. I'm not exactly sure what is happening. Looks like Orfano's using a game shark, the chat saying. Orfano making his way, trying to find a line along the inside there. It's going to give Jesse, though, the inside line through this corner here. He's going to go hold on to it. Orfano trying to get the switch. He's going to be able to hold on to that one. Jesse's tires basically letting go on him at this point. Jesse's 911 running on fumes. A little bit of a bumper or a door rub there coming through the corners. But Orfano making his way out into P1. Jesse dropping down into P2. Quite the adventure with network connection as well. Orfano making use of the grippier tires that he's got over Jesse right now, making a little bit of headway now, 1.6, 1.7 seconds ahead. Jesse still running on fumes with his 911. He's going to have to pit at the end of this lap, if he's going to make it to the end of this lap. Jesse running on fumes. He is down in fuel map 6. He is not running top speed in that 911 right now. That's giving Ridge Raider quite the advantage. We can see that delta dropping. 2.5 seconds. Ridge Raider comes out of the outer loop, down into the chute. Other drivers are seeing the same thing going on with Orfano as we're seeing here. We'll check back with that here shortly. I want to stay on board with Ridge Raider here as he is closing that delta between himself and Jesse, something fierce. Less than 1 second separating the drivers now. Jesse running on that low fuel map. We got Ridge Raider pushing that Flying Fox McLaren through the last series of corners here. 0.8 of a second, 0.7 of a second, 0.6 of a second. Time just dropping here as Ridge Raider is going to be able to make the move happen. Should wait until the back straightaways. Jesse goes to defend the inside line there with no speed. Looks like he's going to go ahead and go into the pits there. Ridge Raider making an easy move along the outside. He's going to make his way up into P2, and Jesse diving into the pits. The fuel completely gone in the 911. Now more action as we cross the start-finish line into the 90. Tom the Tech making his way along the inside there into the 90. He's going to make his way up into P3. Rick James getting an undercut but dropping down a position. He's going to stay in P4. Tom the Tech making his way up into P3. We got Brooks getting an undercut as well. He's going to make his way up into P5. Jesse still in the pits, just now coming out. Cornstick diving into the pits again, running out of fuel. Laundry, tires completely gone, taking it easy as he comes into the pits now as well. So Laundry's going to go ahead and pit again. Let's go ahead and check in with the rest of the field. We got Orfano starting to run away a little bit with the earlier pit, running on a grippier compound. He is out in P1 with 8 seconds separating him and Ridge Raider. Ridge Raider getting an undercut, making his way up to P2. Tom the Tech, that beautiful inside move along Rick James there. He's in a P3. Rick James running a little wide coming out of the chute, or out of the outer loop there. Does hold on to it. Rick James sitting in a P4 in the Haltech Mercedes. We've got Brooks in a P5, Jesse in P6 coming out of the pits, and we got Cornstick, 2 pit lane penalties, a 6-second penalty. Unfortunate for Cornstick. Laundry though 40 seconds behind and also picking up a 3-second penalty. We won't have any change in position in the bottom half of the grid here anytime soon. Orfano still with that 8-second gap ahead of everybody else. Ridge Raider in P2, 4 seconds separating him and Tom the Tech, and that delta is growing. Tom down in P3, Rick James in P4, and Brooks in a P5 for now. Looks like we're going to have another period where everyone's just going to go ahead and settle in, hold on to position for right now, take advantage of any mistakes drivers in front of them may have. Tom the Tech making his way up into P3 after having a few issues at the start of the race, but was able to correct and capitalize, and even going purple as he comes out of the back straight and into the infield. The Flying Fox Mustang keeping it clean, keeping it tidy through the outer loop here as he comes into the chute. Stay on board with him, and Tom the Tech gets ready to come into and out of the toe. We'll have another sector line as he comes out of the toe here. We'll see if he's going to remain going purple. He's going to go ahead and best his best lap time by 0.02 of a second. He is. Tom the Tech already with the fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:46.2. We'll stay on board with him for just a little bit longer now as he comes into the final series of corners. Now we're going to have one more sector line, 4 thousandths of a second purple now. A good possibility he is going to capitalize and just slightly increase his fastest lap time. He does 8 thousandths of a second, good enough for 1:46.1 for now. Still 2 seconds separating him and Ridge Raider. Ridge Raider's medium tires starting to let up just a little bit now. We've got 11 seconds though separating him and Orfano. Orfano with no traffic, be able to find some speed in the 911. Ridge Raider still down in P2. Tom the Tech in P3, finding a little bit of a gap there between himself and Rick James. Rick James down in P4. We got Scurb down in P5. He's running a safe P5 for right now. 21-second gap separating him and Jesse. Jesse, though, earlier on the pits for the second pit, he's going to have fresher tires here than most of the other drivers when they decide to dive in. He could give himself a little bit of an undercut on some of these drivers here. We'll just have to wait and see. We've got Cornstick sitting down into P7. We got Laundry rounding out our field still in P8. Laundry opting for a different strategy. I'm not going to give it away for everybody here. I'm curious if it's going to work for him. Let's check in with the field here. Orfano losing a little bit of time. 11 seconds changing to a 10-second gap now between himself and Ridge Raider. But now only 1 second separating Ridge Raider and Tom the Tech. Tom starting to push that Flying Fox Mustang as hard as he can. Finding less than a second. Tom running on a grippier compound than Ridge Raider is, so he's going to have better entries and exits into and out of these corners than Ridge Raider is. Ridge Raider in a P2, Tom the Tech in a P3. Ridge Raider's going to hold on to P2 as they come through the 90. The Tom with the grippier tire is going to get a better exit coming out of it through the S's, and is going to be all over the slipstream of Ridge Raider if he doesn't try to move along the outside of the S's here first. Tom having a little bit of an early look along the inside. Now we're going to have a drag race here as both drivers come into the infield here. Looks like Tom the Tech's going to be the first one onto the brakes. Ridge Raider's going to capitalize, hold on to P2. Tom with a little bit better exit coming out of the bus stop there into the outer loop, but Ridge Raider also getting himself a good exit. He's going to go ahead and try to increase that gap a little bit here between himself and Tom the Tech as both drivers come down into the chute. And Ridge Raider pushing a little bit wide there. It's giving Tom an opportunity to hold the apex. And Tom's going to go ahead and take P2 along the inside there, coming out of the chute. Ridge Raider slotting in P3 right behind. Great move by Tom there. Ridge Raider running a little bit wide there, coming out of the toe, picking up a little bit of grass, but still holding on. So, but Kaz would have to disagree with me. He's going to go ahead and dish out Ridge Raider a half-second penalty to be served on the next lap. Ridge Raider, though, the 9-second gap between himself and Rick James, nothing to worry about for right now. So yes, everybody, we got 36 minutes down in this race. We got less than 23 to go here. An action-packed AM race. Absolutely incredible from these 8 drivers tonight. You'll love to see it. And once again, we want to thank Six Sigma Sim Racing for sponsoring this series and putting up some outstanding prizes for our podium winners in each of the 3 lobbies. Which reminds me, folks, don't go anywhere after this race, because we got the Pro-Am guys up next, and Gal. And that's a race you're not going to want to miss. Ridge Raider coming out of the S's, losing a little bit of time to Tom. Tom with the grippier compound, getting better exits out of the corners. And Ridge Raider going to have to serve that half-second penalty here shortly. Is finding a little bit more time between himself and Rick James. Rick James dropping down 12 seconds off the rest of the field. Rick James also picking up a half-second penalty as well. We got Brooks down in a P5 as he comes out of the S's onto the back straightaway here. Quite a bit of breathing room between himself and Jesse. We got Jesse down in a P6. Cornstick down in a P7. We got Laundry down in a P8. He's getting the blue flag there, and he is moving off to the side, letting Orfano through. Very gentlemanly move there, Laundry. I love to see it. Well done to you. Orfano out in P1. He's going to hope Laundry is going to become a little bit of a problem at a back marker for Tom the Tech. Tom dropping that delta now, 9 seconds, separating him and Orfano. So starting to see the delta drop a little bit as Orfano's medium tires start to let go. Tom running with the soft tire, though. His are starting to let go just a little bit quicker. And you can see in the background there, you got Ridge Raider starting to close his gap as well between himself and Tom. Ridge running on the medium compound. He's going to be able to stay out a little bit longer, so should be an easy undercut for Ridge Raider here within the next lap or two. We got Rick James coming through to the final corners now. He's sitting down in P4. Brooks in P5. So still no change with the front runners, though. We are just nipping away. Just a little bit at a time. 9 seconds we checked in. Now it's 8 seconds. So Tom finding a little bit of pace there in the Mustang. He's trying to close that gap as much as he can between himself and Orfano before Tom's going to have to go into the pits. Racing soft tires starting to give up on him. Wheels starting to dwindle as well. We got Ridge Raider also sitting on podium in a P3 in the Flying Fox McLaren. I'm a pro, trust me. He's got himself a 13-second gap between him and Rick James. So Rick James starting to fall off just a little bit here. Absolutely due to the tire wear. Those front tires starting to let go on him. He's got a fuel light screaming at him down in the bottom left corner. So Rick James, no doubt, going to have to pit within the next lap or two. Should give Brooks an easy undercut. He's got plenty of tread life and fuel left in his spicy Beetle. Jesse, a little bit better situation than even Brooks is. Jesse still in P6. We got Cornstick and Laundry rounding out the field, P7 and P8 for right now. Once again, checking in with the front runners. Orfano out in front, P1. Tom the Tech out in a P2. Ridge Raider in a P3. Rick James P4. We got Brooks in P5. Let's go ahead and see what Tom Tech's going to do. Tom's going to go ahead and stay out for one more lap, it looks like. Those front soft tires all but gone on the Flying Fox Mustang there. Is closing the gap a little bit. Rick James dives into the pits, fuel being an issue for him. He's going to go ahead and swap out rubber as well. That gives Brooks the undercut that he was looking for. It's going to move him up into P4. Rick James still in the pits as Jesse comes through the final corner now and onto the front straightaway. Looks like Jesse's going to get himself an undercut, make his way up into P5. And now Cornstick coming through the final corner now. Rick James still in the pits getting fuel. Cornstick crossing start-finish line, making his way up into P6, getting an undercut. Rick James is coming out of the pits, though, it looks like. Rick James picking up a 3-second pit line penalty, and Cornstick having to look along the outside here as both drivers come out of the 90 and into the S's. Cornstick making their outside move stick. And Rick James kissing the wall there as they come out of the S's onto the back straightaway. Cornstick just getting that P6. As Rick James having to serve that 3-second penalty, it's going to give Cornstick quite a bit of breathing room there. And Rick James running a little bit wide there, coming through the outer loop. Still starting to lose a little bit of time. I wish I could run it, but that's against league rules. Both drivers out of the chute. Rick James still chomping at the bit of Cornstick, even though he's going to serve that 3-second penalty as both drivers come into tow now. So Cornstick taking a P6 away on an undercut from Rick James, making a very nice move along the outside through the S's there. Very brave. We got Orfano still sitting out in P1. We got Ridge Raider, Tom, and Brooks all diving into the pits for one last time here. Ridge Raider coming out of the pits now. We got Tom making his way out of the pits. He's going to hold on to P2. Ridge Raider holding on to P3, it looks like. Brooks still sitting in the pits as we got Jesse coming out of the final corner and crossing the start-finish line. Looks like Jesse's going to be able to get an undercut on Brooks here. Is he going to get the undercut on Ridge Raider? No, Ridge Raider's going to go ahead and come out of the pits. Should have a little bit of room there between himself and Jesse. Jesse running a little bit of wide coming out of the 90. Jesse holds on to it. Doesn't look like he's going to feel the wrath of Kaz and pick up a penalty. As he comes out of the S's and onto the back straightaway. We got Cornstick making his way up to P5. Just getting that undercut over Brooks. Brooks is going to hold on to P6 for right now. Rick James dropping down to P7. And Laundry still rounding out our field in P8. Looks looks like Orfano's hard on the brakes. He's going to go ahead and pit one last time here. He's going to be the last one to pit, it looks like, for the rest of the race. He's kissing that yellow line there as he enters into the pit lane. I'm not sure with 42-second delta if Tom's going to have enough time to be able to get himself an undercut here, as he hasn't even made it out to the final complex of corners yet. As he comes out of the heel now, he's still got a 9-second gap separating him and Ridge Raider. Ridge Raider coming out of the pits just a little bit behind. We've got Jesse making his way up into P4. Cornstick making his way up into P5. Jesse dropping, Brooks dropping down into P6. Coming out of the pits there. 44 minutes gone, less than 16 minutes to go in the rest of this race here. You got Rick James down in P7, only 4 seconds separating him and Brooks. You got Laundry sitting down in a P8, running on the racing hard tire. No more pit stops for him. We've got Orfano now coming out of the pits. Looks like he's having a little bit of problem with the pit line there again. Or at least it would appear to us, but no penalty for him, so it's looking like he's not going to go ahead and cross that pit line. Tom sitting down in a P2, Ridge Raider in a P3. Jesse diving into the pits for his final pit stop. It's going to give Cornstick and Brooks an opportunity to get an undercut here. So Cornstick's going to make his way up to P4. Brooks making his way up into P5. Jesse still in the pits, just now coming out. We got Rick James getting an undercut. He should be able to make his way up into P6. Looks like he's going to hold on to that as Jesse just now crossing the pit safe line. He's going to be able to get hard onto the accelerator coming out of it here. He's able to keep it clean, no penalty for him. He's got Laundry down in a P8. So Orfano now going to start coming under pressure from Tom the Tech. We got less than 4 seconds separating these drivers now. Last we checked in, Orfano did have himself a 10-second lead just a few laps ago. With pit stops completely changing everything for every guy. We got Tom the Tech down in P2, like I said. Got himself quite a bit of breathing room between himself and Ridge Raider. Ridge Raider with all kinds of time between himself and any other driver. Cornstick picking up a half-second penalty along the way here somewhere. We got Brooks chomping at the bit right behind, less than a half-second separating him. As Cornstick comes out of the toe, he's going to have to serve that half-second penalty here. And Brooks is going to make his way up into P4 as Cornstick serves this penalty. Drops down a gear, loses a little bit of speed. And with Brooks on the grippier compound, he should be able to start pulling away here. And looking down here, we got Rick James getting a little squirrely there as he comes out of the heel, kicks in the wall just a little bit. He picked up a half-second penalty along the line there somewhere as well. So Dirty Tire still keeping him just a little bit squirrely there. Let's manage to keep the car clean though. We got Cornstick going into the pits. That gives Rick James opportunity to make his way up into an easy P5 there, and he's going to have enough of a delta to be able to serve that penalty and not have anything to worry about behind him. We got Jesse getting an undercut on Cornstick as well. Jesse making his way up into P6. Laundry sitting down in a P8 still. Orfano running a little wide there coming out of the chute as he comes into the toe. Does keep it within track limits, not going to pick up a penalty there. Now 3 seconds separating them, down from the 4 seconds from when we last checked in at the same spot 1 lap ago. 1 lap ago. My voice starts to let go. Tom the Tech sitting down in a P2, 13 seconds now separating him and Ridge Raider, with 19 seconds separating him and Brooks. Brooks getting himself an undercut, making his way up into P4. Fresh set of soft tires. Half tank of fuel, that's going to last him the rest of the race. He's got himself a 5-second gap even between him and Rick James in the Haltech Mercedes. Rick coming out of the chute and into the toe. He's going to serve that penalty here around the next corner. And we've got Jesse, 5.5-second gap behind him. He was able to get himself an undercut over Cornstick, who dove into the pits and presumably change out tires, which he did. Pick himself up a fresh set of soft tires there. But now with only 12 minutes to go in the rest of this race, he's going to have to push incredibly hard to make up that 17-second gap between himself and even Jesse. Jesse dropping the time between himself and Rick James, 4.5 seconds separating them. Brooks still sitting out in a P4 for right now. But that delta growing by the second now, over 7 seconds between himself and Rick James. Brooks sitting in a P4, Ridge Raider in a P3. Still losing delta to Tom the Tech, who's sitting out in a P2. We've got Orfano in a P1. great driving from everybody here tonight as Orfano pushes wide there, coming out of the outer loop. I did speak too soon last time. Looks like he was able to hold on to it this time. No Wrath of Kaz, no penalty for him coming out of the loop that time. Orfano hard on the brakes as he comes into the toe. 2.5 seconds separating him and Tom Patek. We've got Tom Patek with a 14-second gap between himself and his teammate, Ridge Raider in the Flying Fox McLaren. Ridge Raider himself, quite the gap between himself and Brooks. Brooks in the independent 911. He's sitting in a very satisfactory P4 for right now. We've got Rick James in a P5, Jesse in a P Steve, Hornstick picking up a half-second penalty along the way. He's in a P7. Laundry really starting to find the time from some of the other drivers pitting. Now less than a minute separating him and Hornstick. Now we're down to a 35-second gap. So strategy starting to pay off for Laundry. I don't know if he's going to have enough time in race to make it happen for him, though. As we've got Orfano and Tom Patek, both drivers coming out of the 90 and up into the S's. Still 2.5 seconds separating both of them. And both of them pulling away from Ridge Raider now. Ridge Raider in a comfortable podium in P3 in the Flying Fox McLaren. Brooks in a P4 for right now. Orfano out in P1 in the Sigma GT Challenge. Once again, we'll thank our sponsors over at Six Sigma Sim Racing for helping us put on this little shindig. Helping us give out some great prizes to the podium winners in each of the lobbies at the end of the season. 8 races total this season. We are on race 5. We're only going to have 3 races left after this one. So I recommend you guys head to the link in the chat right there and see what these guys are all about. Getting out of the way of Orfano there. He's going to go ahead and let him go around. That's going to give him a little bit of an opportunity. Find a little bit of breathing room. His launcher becomes a little bit of an issue. Tom Patek there becomes a back marker. So Tom's going to try to run wide, make the inside move. Laundry's going to keep the inside line there, go off the racing line, let Tom Patek around. Orfano losing a little bit of time there now, less than 2 seconds separating him and Tom Patek. Got Ridge Raider dropping back a little bit, running a little bit wide there out of the complex corners. Not sure if he's going to pick up penalty for that one. Doesn't look like he is. He was able to hold on, just keep it on a pixel of the curb. So no penalty for Ridge Raider as he crosses the lap. As he crosses the finish line, start yet another lap. Brooks also making his way through the final corner onto the front straightaway, sitting in P4, 10 seconds separating him and Jesse. Jesse starting to come under pressure from Rick James now. Rick James in the Haltech Mercedes, starting to close the gap between himself and Jesse. Still 0.8 of a second separating them now. Let's go ahead and check in with the front of the field now. That delta is still sitting at a 1.7, 1.8 second gap between P1 and P2. We got Orfano in P1, Tom Patek in a P2. Tom trying to push the Flying Fox Mustang as hard as he can to close the delta. We only have less than 8 minutes of racing here left. The driver's going to be opening bottles of bravery here. Now 1.3, 1.2 seconds. Orfano pushing a little bit wide there, coming out of the heel. Not able to get the same kind of exit. Tom Patek, though, looking like he also running a little bit wide, though. 1.3 seconds. He's getting a little bit of a better exit out of the hairpin there. Orfano pushing wide again, picking up a little bit of grass. But Orfano holding on to P1, 1.5 seconds separating him and Tom. Tom eating up all the curb there on the right side of the track, coming through the final corner. Orfano pushing it up to the wall. Still 1.3 seconds separating P1 and P2. Let's check back in with Jesse and James. Half a second separating both of these drivers now as both of them come through the outer loop and into the chute. Come out of the toe and into the heel. Jesse holding on to P5. Rick James, a little bit of an issue there, dropping back now. That half-second gap dropping down to a 2-second delta. Less than 7 minutes for him to make another attempt there. Rick James, P7. We got Cornstick down in P7, Laundry in P8. Checking back in with the action up front. Still a second and a half separating Orfano and Tom Attack, but you can see Tom starting to push the Mustang there, 1.4 seconds. Both drivers come into the chute. Orfano pushing wide, eating up all the grass. He loses P1, is able to keep the car straight, but he does drop down into P2 with a 20-second gap separating him and Ridge Raider. He's not in any danger from losing a P2, but running a little bit wide there. Tom Attack running away now in P1, 2.5 seconds separating him as he takes the easy inside line from Orfano's mistake. Chat going wild for Tom there. So Brooks still sitting in a P4, Jesse in a P5, starting to find himself a little bit breathing between himself and Rick James. Rick James in a P6, and we've got Cornstick in a P7, Laundry in a P8. The tough, as you said, Sweaty, tough break for Orfano there, running a little bit wide through the chute, giving Tom the opportunity to take P1 back there. Less than 5 minutes of racing left, everybody. It looks like we got Tom Attack out in a P1, losing a little bit of the delta there between himself and Orfano. Orfano not pleased with himself, starting to put the pedal down, find a little bit more pace in the Spicy Beetle. You can see that delta between him and Ridge Raider starting to increase. He's trying to find every bit of power he can out of every corner, trying to close that delta, but to no avail. Still Tom Attack still pulling away just a little bit. We got Ridge Raider down in P3. Absolutely nobody around him right now. So we got Skirb down in P4. And Jesse finding a little bit more pace, but still nears makes no difference. 10 seconds separating him and Brooks. Still no change up in front. 4 minutes of racing left, everybody. If you're just tuning in, if you're new here, be sure to hit that follow button up there. We are 26 followers away from the April goal with 8 days left. Let's smash that joker, everybody. We got Tom Attack sitting out in P1 right now with Orfano starting to find a little bit more pace in the 911. 2.2 seconds down from 2.5 seconds separating him. Ridge Raider in P3 starting to creep up on Laundry. They're launching the back marker for Ridge Raider. He will give up the space, though, as we've seen him do earlier tonight. Very respectful driving from Laundry here. Very respectful driving from everybody tonight, I would say, so far. Jesse still sitting down in P5. We got Rick James down in P6, losing still a little bit of time yet to Jesse. 3.5 seconds separating him. Cornstick in P7. As I said, Laundry in P8, letting Ridge Raider around there. Still over 2 seconds ahead, sitting in P1. We've got Orfano still down in P2. Ridge Raider in P3. Healthy gaps between either side of him. He should finish here on the podium in P3 tonight. We've got Brooks down in P4. We got Jesse in P5. Rick James in P6. We've got Cornstick in P7. And we've got the very respectful Laundry in P8. Laundry getting some love here in the chat. We absolutely love to see it from everybody. Well done to him. Still no change out in front. We got Tom Attack sitting in P1, Orfano in P2, and Ridge Raider in P3. So we don't have any more issues here tonight. We should be looking at our finishing grid order here. Two-minute warning for the drivers. We got 2 minutes left in the race, everybody. Tom running a little wide there through the corner. He's losing a little bit of time to Orfano now. 2.5 seconds dropping down to a second and a half. Tom Attack's soft tires starting to give up on him. We've got Orfano's soft tires with quite a bit more tread life left on him. You're starting to see Tom's let go on him. He's starting to push wide through some of the corners here. He's not able to carry as much speed as he was once able to. You know, Orfano can see that delta dropping. 1.5 seconds separating. Ridge Rigger, Brooks, and Jesse still 3, 4, and 5 respectively. Tom's tires still starting to let go. Tom not able to hold the speed. 1.2 seconds separating him and Orfano now. This is going to be final lap here. We've got less than 1 minute to go. 30 seconds into the lap. This is last lap here. Orfano's going to have to push if he wants to try to make a move here for P1 now, down to less than a second separating him and Tom Tex. Both drivers come out of the outer loop and into the chute. 0.8 of a second separating them. Tom playing it safe. Orfano getting on the loud pedal early. 0.6 of a second. Both drivers coming into the toe. Orfano pushing hard. Sparks coming off the back splitter of his car. Still 0.6 of a second. Orfano losing a little bit of time. Tom finding a little bit of a better exit out of the corner there. 0.7 of a second. Let's see what happens here as we come into the heel. 0.4 of a second. Orfano all over the bumper of Tom and Tech as they come through the final series of corners now. We got 2 corners left. Orfano going a little bit sideways there. He's going to lose all of the delta in the final 2 corners. Orfano not able to hold on and capitalize in any of the last corners of the race. That's going to give Tom the win here tonight. Tom crossing the line for Flying Fox Racing in a P1. Orfano close behind in P2. We're going to have Ridge Raider finishing here in a P3. Brooks is going to finish in P4 tonight. We got Jesse in P5 with enough of a delta, it looks like, as long as he holds on. Rick James should be P6, Cornstick and Laundry P7 and P8 respectively. Let's hop on board with Ridge Raider here as he crosses the start-finish line. He's going to finish on podium here tonight in P3. Brooks is going to go ahead and come through the final series of corners now. He's clean through there, through the final corner. He's going to go ahead and finish in P4 tonight. Jesse also coming through the final hairpin. He keeps it clean. He's going to finish P5. We got Rick James in a P6. Cornstick coming up to the final series of corners now. He's going to finish in a P7 tonight. So congratulations to everybody here. Let's stay on board with Cornsticks. He's going to be the last one to finish the race. Cornstick crossing the line in P7. Incredible performance from all of the drivers here tonight. Well done to you, Tom the Tech, finishing in P1. We got Orfano coming in right behind, less than a second in P2. We got Ridge Raider in P3. We got Skirb sitting in P4. Jesse in P5. Rick James coming in at P6. We've got Cornstick in P7. Laundry rounding out our grid at P8. Once again, congratulations to our drivers. We're going to go ahead and take ourselves a little 5-minute break ski. Reset the lobby for the Pro-Am, guys. Get our boy No Lander over here. Don't go anywhere, guys. Stay tuned.